All right, so let's try the next one. I'm going to go up again, but this time I'm going to go to this A here. So we're going to count up the scale. Instead of going to this A, I'm going to jump as we go to the formula to this one. All right, and that's going to go from the 5 to the 6. So if I started on this C, it would be going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then instead of going to this 6, I'm going back to that 6, which is basically the same note actually, so it should sound, in essence the same because these two notes are the same. But now I'm in a different position on the guitar and I can change my hand position if I was noodling around, right? So we're gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So let's go from, if I go from this G to that A, then that should be a distance of a 2-note away major second. How can I tell that? I could see, well, it's pinky to pointer, so it's a 2-note away major second because I haven't crossed the fault line. I can count it out, which would mean there'd be 5 distance between here, 5, 4, 3, 2. From the perspective of the C, we would expect it to be a 9-note away major 6, which I can count out 5, 10, 15. 15 minus 12 can bring me back down to 3, 3, 2, 1, 0, or octave 12, going around the horn 12, 10, 9, 12, 11, 10, 9. You forget the 11. There's an 11. Disrespecting the 11. So if I went from this C to this A, that would be a 9-note away major 6. Okay, so then what if I went, so now let's just walk through this, see if I can do this a little bit more fast because we're running pretty long on time here. We're gonna go from the 6, so now I'm going from the 6 to the 7. So 6 to the 7 is now going from the A to the B, so we're going from this 6 to this 7, A to the B. So that's going to be a whole step, and we're going from the 6, which was absolute mode number 6, Aeolian, to absolute mode number 7, which is the Locrian. The Locrian is the top of the box, which looks skewed now because the fault line is between the G and the B string. This tectonic plate shifting to the right, but this shape is the same as this box up top, so it's still kind of like the B, the Locrian, is up in the attic of the box. So then we're going to go from the 7 to the 8, which is a half step. So we're going to go from 7 to the 8, half step, boom, boom. Brings us back home, the 8 or 1. So that goes from the Locrian, absolute mode number 7, Locrian, to absolute mode number 1, the Ionian, otherwise known as the major scale. The Ionian's at the top of the house, top right of the house, looking at the ocean, which is the hole in the guitar. Same as here, except there was a shift up because of the fault line. So now we're going to go then, that's the 1. Let's go from the 1 to the 2. It's going to be a whole step. So now we're going to go from the 1st to the 2nd of the major scale is a whole step. That's going from here to here, whole step. That's going from absolute mode number 1, Ionian, major scale, to absolute mode number 2, Dorian. And we know that the Dorian, from the perspective of the major scale, is a 2-note away major second. From this C or this C, which I can tell from this C, it's still 2 notes away because I can say it's 5, 10, 15, 15 minus 12 is 3, minus 1 gets me back to 2. So then I could say, okay, let's go from the 2 to the 3, from the 2nd to the 3rd is going to be a whole step. 2nd to the 3rd is a whole step, going from the D to the E, going from the D to the E, whole step. 2nd to the 3rd, which is going from absolute mode number 2 to absolute mode number 3, going from the Dorian to the Phrygian. That will always be a whole step. The Phrygian, once again, is at the bottom of the house here. The perspective of the Phrygian as it relates to the C up top is going to be a 4-note away major 3rd, which I can count out by saying it's going to be 5, 10, 15. 15 minus 12 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So let's go now from the 3 is going to be a half step to go to the 4. So now we're on the 3, half step to 4. We're at the bottom of the box, of course. That's where the half steps live. So now we're on the Phrygian, going from absolute mode number 3 to absolute mode number 4. The Phrygian, we went from the Phrygian to the Lydian. So now we're at the Lydian lives at the bottom right of the box. It's the major living in the major house underneath the major. The two minors live in the back side of the house, in the attic, in the basement, because they're not appreciated as much. Is my story. So then I'm gonna go. So then I'm gonna go from, I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm gonna go from the 4th to the 5th. Is going to be a whole step? From the 4th to the 5th is a whole step. So from boom, boom, and that's going from absolute mode number 4 Lydian to absolute mode number 5 Mixolydian. We could see the Mixolydian is the major mode that doesn't live in the house, because it has a minor 7, hangs out with the Dorian in this case, and the house double stop shape. It's at the bottom of the double stop part of the house double stop shape. And we could see that one also is going to be over here. So we can move this to the front so that we're in the open G. And so now we're going to go from the 5 to the 6. Will basically bring us back to where we started. Open G to the A. Open G to the A. Whoa. Is a whole step. Going from absolute mode number 6 Mixolydian to absolute mode number 5 Mixolydian to absolute mode number 6 Aeolian. All right, let's see if I can do one more. I won't go to the bottom string because it's the same as the top string and I'm running long on time.